ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 12 of Setbacks and a Shot of Tequila. I'm here with Kenny. Say hi.
Hi.
And we are joined by a returning guest, Brody.
Yep.
All right.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy
Halloween. Well, it's not Halloween yet, but happy Halloweenish season.
Close enough.
Yeah, let's crack that open now.
Let's be honest.
I don't want to make you mad, so.
No.
Let's be honest. I think for most people, Halloween starts like halfway through October.
Yeah, that's the same with Christmas, except Christmas starts at the beginning of December, like December 1st.
Let's be honest here. Most people start Christmas in like
November
I
1st.
start Christmas when Walmart starts Christmas.
Which is like
2 weeks ago.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is our Halloween-themed episode. So we have all kinds of spookiness to throw your way. I'm just trying to be so enthusiastic right now.
Yeah, I'm
trying.
I don't think we're gonna say why, but we are
Positive
very
vibes. Positive
yeah.
vibes.
Happy. I'm happy. We're starting this episode a little later. We're starting this episode at 9:30 tonight, just because it's Halloween. We wanted to just get nighttime and spooky. That's why we're doing it this late.
No, we've been here for 4 hours.
4 hours.
waiting.
We needed the perfect time to start this. Just to get the vibe for things.
9:30 was the perfect time.
9:30 was a perfect time. Yes, 9:30.
Yes, 9:25.
Yes. So, well, let's just get right into this. I feel like someone should just be making like ooh in the background, but there's no one else here. There's just the three of us, so no one can do that. Okay, don't start that.
I can
Okay,
sing Celine Dion if that helps.
can you do like Celine Dion singing the Monster Mash? Okay, I'm gonna stop you there, and we're gonna start this. We're gonna do our toast here because let's just. I actually had one thought out before. Okay, please. Happy. I'm happy.
That's like the best symptom of not being happy is saying you're happy.
So is like Pharrell just really pissed off all the time then?
Yes.
Oh, I hate that song.
Did you? Okay, I'll bring it up.
He's
after
like
we take
40.
Anyways.
He's like 40 something, eh?
Oh, he's so old.
Black
He
don't
doesn't
crack.
look. He doesn't look like it though.
No, he looks like he's looked like he's 20 since he was 19.
Yeah.
I look like I was 40 since I was 19, so
Yeah,
that's
you
a
know.
bad trade-off.
Anyways,
Kenny.
to we get this shot going,
I'll continue. Okay.
well, hold on, we'll get to the shot. Yeah, essentially, we're doing this new thing where we kind of,
Are we?
as gracefully,
Wait, what?
it's kind of once I've mentioned it, once I said what we're doing, it kind of takes away from it. But
you also don't mention it until.
no, I mentioned it.
Have you?
I couldn't bring it in without actually just blatantly just like throwing it in there. But we're gonna kind of give an idea on what we're talking about each episode, right? We're doing that, and I was gonna try and do that smoothly, but I was like, no, that's not happening. So yeah, we're just gonna summarize what our podcast, what we're gonna be talking about. So we're gonna try and keep it a little more on track.
I think that's gonna happen.
No, we're gonna try it, and we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, so we're kind of keeping everything this episode Halloween themed, and
We're gonna try.
ghosts and goblins, and
There's only so much you can
Such a
say
good
about
game.
Halloween.
we're gonna milk the Halloween thing like nothing else. Actually, I came up with a list of Halloween costume ideas, which we'll get into here in a little bit once we're done all our
Super Ghosts and
preliminary.
Goblins.
Yeah, super ghosts and goblins. I don't know what that is. And yeah, and we have a few scary stories to tell. Anybody have scary stories, or is it just me that has scary stories?
Probably just you, but
It's
I can
probably
find some.
just me. Just think it. I know half of mine are true. I have one that's not true, and then the rest are true cases. So yeah, we'll get into that, and we're just gonna sit here and do our thing.
Like nothing but a G thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so this week's toast, we have our weekly shot of tequila, which Luke poured.
You actually have a toast prepared this time?
I do have a toast prepared.
Yeah, it's
You're just
amazing.
gonna shake your head. This is gonna be like a terrible toast. Like you guys will understand it, but I don't know how I'm gonna convey it to the audience listening. But this week I want to do a cheers to my most favorite emoji ever created, which is this one. The girl who has her hand up like this, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
the one that like gets so much attention just because it's so amazing. Is that what it is?
I don't know. It's kind of
She's got her arm up like, and she's got that smile like, I don't give a fuck.
Like she's a waitress holding a plate or something.
Without the plate, yes. Yeah. I love that emoji, and I love that emoji so much that I just want to drink to it.
a basic bitch.
I know, I love it.
Same with the monkey covering the mouth.
Can't see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
That. It's like the most overused ones.
Anyways, two emojis.
Sure.
That's
I thought of that like 2 hours ago, and I've just been sitting on it, so proud of myself. So yeah, that. Yep. So we need like a little bit of music after we take our shot, just so we can all have our chaser drink.
Can I just say I'm honestly not familiar with like emojis at all. I've never used one.
Me neither.
I've
I just
never
know
had
that
anybody
one.
use them on me. Ever. Like you, I've never had somebody send one to me or anything like that.
Well, we're Android, so it's kind of
There's equivalents.
yeah. There is. There's that one, the lady with her hand up. The Android equivalent, like she's sitting at a desk doing the same thing. It's like the desk doesn't justify. Of all things to add to that little picture, a desk.
They had to justify their job somehow.
That's why I'm so angry right now. Because Android, you gotta get your shit together.
They do have their shit together.
No, not in the emoji department. No.
Do they need to have their shit together in the emoji department?
Because Android's used by adults, and adults don't need emojis.
Ooh, that's a shot to everybody who uses an iPhone.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Good job,
Shots fired.
Android Master Race.
So, 2 or 3 of us are dressed up right now. I'm not, because I didn't know we were supposed to dress up for this, even though I'm the one that...
you're the one that planned out the whole Halloween episode.
Yeah. Funny how that works out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we're dressed up as. Brody, let's not give too much credit to that. You're just dressed in what's sitting in the studio, but what are you supposed to be?
I'm a bandito.
You're a bandito.
Yeah. You are a bandito.
I was going to say Mexican, but...
Well, you just did. Luke, what are you?
Bandito's more exciting.
I am dressed as... this is a costume I bought a few days ago, and I'm still kind of working on the fine details of it. But it's Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed 3.
So the Assassin's Creed guy, as I like to refer to it as?
One of, like, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the Indian one, right?
Yes.
Fitting. I am dressed as nothing.
To be completely honest, that's why I picked this one.
Yeah, I know you said that already. That's why I
good,
knew
though.
it was the Indian one.
Yeah.
Looks like it was worth the money.
I really like this
How much did that cost you?
$179.
That's not even that bad.
No,
Really?
Yeah.
one of the stores across town from where I bought it was selling it for like $250 something. I got it at an extremely reduced price.
Holy.
Yeah.
This is a pretty complex costume.
I like to just
Like,
make
it's got
my
a
own
lot
costumes.
on it.
I spent $20 on suspenders for my costume, and I'm still kicking myself for it.
Can we talk about that on the podcast?
My costume?
Both of yours costumes?
Yeah. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows what I'm going to be. It's not like a surprise or anything.
Like they don't know
The
whole story here.
No. Yeah, go ahead and tell that story.
It's your fucking guys' costumes. You tell the story.
I was growing a beard for 6 months for this one costume. I was going to be a slutty lumberjack, and I was like, oh man, this is so original. No one would ever think of this, ever. Anyway, I decided not to do it, and then Kenny told me
That's what I'm going as.
was.
I came up with that a month ago.
Yeah.
And that's not... I know another person who did the exact same thing. It's just the combination of those two things, it baffles me how
Yeah, I know.
it's so popular.
I was like, oh, it's so funny. No one is ever going to think of this. Two other people.
Apparently, literally everybody has thought of it.
And it's sad, and we're going to use that jump-off point to get right into this thing, because this is really the only thing I had planned. Hear that? That is paper sounds. I wrote something down, guys.
Oh my god.
The first time I ever wrote something down. I came up with...
Your handwriting must be shit, then.
What?
It's the first time you've wrote something down.
Oh. Really? I got really offended there. nothing
You
gets
just like completely killed the joke there.
I
man.
know, and I'm realizing maybe I should do this on my phone because this is really loud. This paper noise.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold it back. Oh, I can't read that. So I came up with this idea yesterday. You know, I wanted to come up with a top 10 costume ideas that are relevant but probably not taken yet. Which, how do I know? Like, apparently, I have poor judgment on what's you know.
You know, Google searches.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Well, you know, I thought I was creative and, you know, like, holy crap, no one will ever think of this.
Yeah.
Apparently, everyone thought of that. These are in no particular order. I'm not going to do, like, a countdown because let's just be happy I got
And
10
you
of
had
these
your
things.
mom read these over the phone to you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought about it because I lost my original list, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyways, we're just, like I said, just any order here. We're going to get into 10 relevant costumes that are maybe not taken yet.
Hopefully.
The first one actually is courtesy of Brody because I changed one of my other answers. Is the fucker right in the pussy guy?
Yes. Oh my god.
It's gonna be the most overused one this Halloween.
Probably,
Yeah.
but at the
It's
same
so
time-
simple too. You just got to dress like a hobo.
Yeah.
Oh, all you need is a black hoodie with a hood up,
Yeah.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and give a brief description of how you can do these costumes if you want to do them at home.
My partner at work looks like exactly like him and always wears the hoodie up and shit like that.
Oh, boy.
Looks exactly like him. It's pretty funny.
Is it him?
Has the same glasses and everything.
Is it him?
You know, I'm starting to think so.
Does he interrupt your conversations rudely all the time?
Yeah, with this
Fuck her right in the
one
pussy.
yeah, that's the phrase actually.
Really? Oh wow, that's so bizarre.
See what I did there?
My second one, which is actually the whole reason I came up with this list, is a Trivago guy.
Oh my god. All you got to do is just look really hungover.
And you know it's kind of funny because I don't know how that popped in my head. I was like, that'd be an awesome costume idea.
Can we just talk about that motherfucker for a second?
Yeah, well, that's
Who?
Trivago.
The Trivago. Have you seen those commercials?
No.
It's kind of like Expedia, like for hotels, or like like the hotel
Yeah.
or whatever. It's this like 40-something like salt and pepper hair. He looks like he literally just like rolled out of
He
bed
looks like an
after
older
all-night bender.
James Vanderbeek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
Is this-
he's wearing like the most disheveled gray button-up shirt. Like the top two buttons are like undone.
It's wrinkly.
kind of like askew. Like it looks like he's trying to hide like a mustard stain on the shirt. His hair's all messed up.
Is this like going around the internet or is this
No,
just
it's
some, like,
It's
all over-
apparently- yeah.
it's all over TV. But like this guy is all over the internet because everybody is freaked the fuck out by this.
Well,
guy.
no, they're just annoyed. It was my dad who first brought it up and
it's-
said, "This guy annoys me."
It's
just
not
the way
even
his
annoyance, but like on the internet, it's like baffling. Like people are like, what the fuck is up with this guy? And like the way he says words is really weird. And I guess why that is like this guy's some German soap opera actor who doesn't speak a word of English.
Really?
But they got him to do an English advertisement.
They're just gonna go with someone in
The hilarious fucking thing is I saw that ad again a couple weeks ago. And they ended up redubbing his lines. Because
Really?
I guess people
So bad?
Yeah, it's so bad. They actually redubbed his lines.
Really?
It's so obvious too.
So yeah, that's one, and the catchphrase for it, which just makes me smile every time.
Trivago?
No,
Go
hotels.
fuck yourself.
Trivago. Just worst catchphrase ever. Anyways,
Hotels, Trivago, fuck yourself.
number 3 is the dad from All in the Family. That's one that.
Huh.
Do you not get the reference behind that?
Not really.
all in the
He was
family.
just admitted he was a sex
Pedophile,
offender.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
that guy.
shit,
So that's
I
a
forgot
costume.
about that.
It was probably that
little
costume was done
insensitive.
back in the time,
Yeah.
back when that show was relevant. But yeah, bring that back. I think
Totally
it's
bring that back.
yeah, that's something to do. People, you might need to explain yourself. I don't
Wear
know.
2 watches.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
So many things go over my head here. Yeah, I don't like. How can you can pull that one off? Probably you just have to like just chain a bunch of naked baby dolls to you or something. I don't know how you would do that. Number 4 is the new Renee Zellweger. As you heard,
Yeah.
she got plastic surgery and now she looks like a completely different person.
I'm gonna be surprised if that's not
Really?
an actual like latex mask you can buy in a month or so. I can
I
say
haven't
mask.
seen
I feel like that's something they should do before Halloween, but
Well, let's
I haven't
face it,
seen
those
her.
things take time to make.
that's true.
Yeah, she got plastic surgery and people are freaking the fuck out over it.
Yeah,
Really?
I
that's
don't
all
know,
people
like,
are
yeah,
talking
because
about now.
people are fucking vain. It's ridiculous.
Well, the thing is, what if it is a Halloween mask?
That'd be hilarious.
Because it doesn't look anything like her.
It's like
it doesn't
those
look like
Mission
her.
Impossible
Why would
masks.
she change herself so much?
Because I don't know. Her reasoning was she was like, "I'm 40. I want to be a new me," and she took that really literally.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I figured by 40 you'd want to be like the most. Like,
She doesn't look bad. She doesn't
No,
look like
she
she has a lot of
looks
plastic
good.
surgery. She just looks like a different
Yeah.
face. It looks like someone put a different face on her.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Renee Zellweger, but it doesn't look.
But her face before kind of looked funny anyway. So
I hope
who are
when
we
I'm
judging?
40, I'm like really comfortable with myself and don't want to totally change. Fuck you, Kenny.
Number 5 is Ben Affleck's penis. As you may know, recently he revealed it. And what's something sister? I should have looked up the name of the movie. No one knows what I'm talking about right now, do they?
I don't
Probably
follow
not.
current events at all, I guess.
Oh, really?
I haven't heard any of this.
I just watch Ellen. He was
I don't.
Gone Girl. Gone Girl is the name of the
Girl.
movie.
Yeah.
He shows his
If you
wiener
had
in.
said girl, I would have known that. But
Yeah, Gone Girl. And that's the only thing I've heard about that movie is Ben Affleck shows his penis in
all
it.
I've heard about that movie is that it's apparently the perfect yet the worst date movie imaginable. It's like the stereotypical date movie, but it's like the worst movie to take somebody on a
Really?
date to. Yeah.
Well, because he shows his penis?
Well, no, but like I guess it's. I don't know why. I've never seen it, but yeah.
His penis or the movie?
Both
Clearly both. Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
One would dictate the other.
Dictate.
puns.
I didn't number these, so I have to number them. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. Sam Pepper.
Yeah.
If you are familiar with anything YouTube,
All you need is
know.
really big glasses and a goofy fucking haircut.
Yeah, I was thinking just like, you know
And a
how...
really, really dumb sweater.
Yeah, you know how when you clean your sink, or not your sink, your shower with those weird things you shove down the drain and you pull that clump of wet hair out,
You just stick that on your head.
plop that on your head. The best part about this costume is actually you can do it male or female, or you can do a couple costume. You just have to be one of his victims.
Yeah.
So just dress like a young girl.
Is this the guy who like went around touching chicks'
Yeah.
butts and shit?
Yeah.
So whatever happened with that? Did he get in trouble or?
Oh yeah, he got like, I think we talked about it in another podcast.
Yeah, I don't think he like never got charged or anything, but yeah, he got fucking crucified.
Well, apparently
He got he got it like banned from all big events like Playlist Live and like VidCon and everything.
He
like
tried
that.
to
He's
play it
never
off
allowed
like
back.
he was doing some like social
experiment, but no,
Yeah.
he's done it before. This is not the first time he's done a video like that.
This isn't the first time we've talked about it too.
No.
We brought it up in another podcast.
We brought it up
Yeah.
like after it happened.
Yeah, we're really on top of these things.
Oh yeah.
Number 8 is Randy Marsh as Lord.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes, that is awesome.
And you have to be singing that song the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am Lord.
I haven't actually seen the episode yet, but I saw that clip.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because all you need is a mustache.
I
and
totally might
Get that-
steal that,
do that?
from you.
Yeah. Get that app that like auto-tunes your voice.
Yeah.
See, that's why I came up with this. See, they're all very good ideas that people can put to use.
Not to toot your own horn or anything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11.
We like to
This
go
list
on
has
one.
now been changed. We are now BuzzFeed. We don't care what the actual number is. We'll throw any number in there
Yeah.
No,
until we come up with bad.
We do 11 points because we like to go one further.
Exactly. Then this is number 9. Joan Rivers' perfectly preserved corpse. You know, all you have to do is just put on any mask,
Yeah.
and
A
you're
ghoul
good
mask.
to go.
Yeah. That sounds like a Cards Against Humanity card.
Yeah,
Maybe it
kinda
will be
does.
one. If
Oh,
Cards
I
Against
can guarantee you that'll be one.
If Cards Against Humanity is listening to this right now, you have full permission to use that, because we are going to trademark that. Can we trademark that?
Probably not.
Can we
No.
try?
And just
We can
trademark
try.
a
We're gonna
sentence.
try that. We're still
I
working
mean,
on.
Paris Hilton trademark. That's hot.
We're still working on wieners.com, so that's
No, we're
next in
not.
line.
That's thousands of dollars. We're not working on that. I'm sorry.
Okay, number 10, which is my personal favorite, is a bowl of rice. A bowl of rice. You know what? Let me break this down for you.
Break it down.
Ebola Ray Rice. So essentially, all you have to do is you put on a Ray Rice jersey and make yourself look sick as shit. A bowl of rice.
Is that the guy who punches?
That's the guy who beat up his girlfriend. Yes.
Nice.
Ray Rice. Yeah.
I mean,
champion.
it's terrible what he did, but it was a
But-
pretty good punch.
Yeah,
So,
and-
I'm sorry. Just to interrupt this for a second. That reminds me of who is that like UFC or whatever that like beat the shit out of his girlfriend a little ago? He had some ridiculous nickname.
Friggin' beat up Christy Mack, the porn star, right?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of. No, he like killed like
War Machine.
War Machine.
He legally changed his name to War Machine.
After he did that?
No, it was before.
Fucking, I saw something the other day.
Tried to kill himself.
I saw like an archive thread from 4chan where they, I guess there was like they had this like little thread where they were trolling War Machine, and they actually got him like, I guess like War Machine like tweeted out or something pictures of like his bruised face. Because I guess like 4chan pissed him off so much he had to beat himself up to avoid getting violent, to avoid like beating the shit out of somebody else.
Yeah.
Isn't that an episode of something? What show is that where they beat themselves up so they don't get beaten up by the bully?
I can't remember. But like,
hell, that's gonna bug that.
But like, I was like, it's like after the recent events, this thread just takes on a whole new context.
Yeah.
Because this guy is obviously crazy enough to just like straight up murder somebody.
Well,
and, like,
he tried to hang himself in jail the other day, and he had like a suicide.
Shit.
Yeah,
Dude.
and his suicide note was pretty depressing.
That's gonna bug me what show that is. Anyways, way to take away from my really clever pun I came up with.
Continue.
I'm just gonna say Ebola rice. Like,
Yeah, we know.
I was so proud of that one. And finally, number 11, a feminist. That's my list.
So you're gonna dress up as Anita Sarkeesian?
Oh, don't even say that name.
Have you seen that? It's going around. It's the next viral campaign for feminism. Those little
just
girls
walk around with like
that's all right. That's cool. I was just telling
you know, because you don't do
jumped
that
in.
literally all the time.
Yeah, but that's kind of my thing. These girls dressed as princesses and then just start dropping the F-bomb like nothing else. Yeah. Have you seen that video?
Yes. Mixed thought.
Up until they actually start talking about feminism, I was so enjoying it. Every part of that video. And then they brought up, and then the older women come on and say, you shouldn't be offended by these girls swearing. You should be offended that women are oppressed. I'm just like, shut up.
I don't think anybody was offended by that in the children swearing in the first place.
Our
It's fucking hilarious.
culture is so desensitized. You have to do better than that.
Our culture is just fucked up.
Going down the drain. The party drain.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is Kenny's 11 costume ideas that are relevant but probably not taken. So, there you go. Did you want us to jump in on that or something?
I mean, you can if you want.
It would have been nice to throw that whole list thing, but
Just
it's a little late now. Okay, yeah, it's a little late. Let's retire that.
You're tired of it.
No, I said let's retire it.
Oh, well, fuck you.
Deflate your balloons. So Halloween, guys, what do we think of Halloween? What is your personal opinion on the holiday?
Candy?
Do you like Halloween? First of all,
I enjoyed it as a kid, but once you're an adult, you kind of see it's just a grab for money.
I enjoyed I enjoyed the candy as a kid. As an adult, I definitely enjoyed some of the costumes.
Yeah. I like the really creative ones, and then I like the ones that girls put on, and it's just like, I'm a bee, and they wear like one line of black and yellow tape over their tits, and it's like, yeah.
you're a bee.
I'm a bee. I'm a bee.
We can't do a podcast without you singing something, can we?
No, we can't.
Personally,
I'm a musical person. Stop oppressing me.
the older I get, the
I just
more
got the finger.
the more I'm starting to enjoy Halloween, and it's going to peak definitely in the next year or so. Actually, at this point, I have nothing planned for this Halloween. But as I'm getting older, it's definitely becoming more fun and something I think about because I love dressing up. I don't like not just Halloween. I'm not like a cosplayer or anything. Again, I just learned what cosplay means. But no, I love putting thought in every costume I've ever made. I've made from scratch, and I've done. I think the one I'm most proud of is my Ghostbusters costume, which I went to Valley Village and bought the tan shirt and the tan pants and painted with. I had to use whiteout and red Sharpie and black felt, and I drew out the logo perfectly. and I had a white pen. I went out and bought a white paint pen, but it just seeped through it, so I had to use the little whiteout you get with a little sponge tip thing, and I did that, and I still have that costume somewhere. It's still in good use,
awesome.
but yeah, so I like putting thought and try and come up with something kind of cool, and apparently everything I come up with, someone else thought of
6 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
I like Halloween because it's a good creative outlet for a lot of people. Like, you see a lot of new costumes every year, and you're like, wow, that's awesome.
And it's another excuse to go out and get drunk, dancing a Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I got planned.
That's like the big difference between when you're a kid and when you're an adult.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Candy stays the same, but the alcohol.
It's still trick or treat, just different kind of candy.
Yeah.
Different treats. Speaking of Halloween, I just want to note, because no one else has yet, and I was hoping somebody would bring it up right away.
Yeah.
We actually decorated the studio for Halloween.
I keep forgetting this is an audio podcast.
Well,
They can actually see what we're seeing.
I was setting the mood, okay? I thought I did a good job of
No,
that.
yeah, he did a really good job.
It's very Halloween-y in here. We got the
Yeah, this is
cobwebs.
Excellent.
Actu-
I'm kind of sad we can't just keep it like this.
That's what I've been thinking. I was like, we should just keep this year round. But I went out and
Christmas.
bought green cobwebs because the black light makes it glow.
That's really cool,
It's
actually.
cool, though, yeah.
I'm huge on Halloween. Back when I was in that phase after trick-or-treating, but before I could go to the bars, I got really into decorating. And there's a video somewhere of our house. Every year I would go full on. Our house would be the house that's so
awesome
overdone.
house?
Yeah, the awesome house.
Yeah.
But then we live in such a small town, and it was through a phase where there was not a lot of kids. So we had like 20 people that whole night. It was kind of upsetting, but
Yeah.
I'm still love decorating Halloween. Actually, I'm a big Halloween nut.
I've noticed that there's not a lot of trick-or-treaters anymore, like, everywhere.
Really?
Like, even in Airdrie.
Well, because everyone is trying to rape kids and stuff now, right? Isn't that the reason? Isn't that why parents don't want their kids going?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah, let's just start
Yeah.
with the rape
Let's
and
just
go from there.
jump right off into
It's kind of
rape.
disappointing that, I don't know, kids didn't get to do what I did, because I know I loved walking around with my
You mean
dad
not
and
get
shit.
raped?
Like, yeah, I preferred not to get raped.
Preferred.
Well, if it ends on a rape, like if you can do stuff up till
Speaking
then.
of rape,
Speaking of rape,
well, not really rape, but I guess
not
there's-
really rape.
no.
Where are you going with this, Brody?
No, there's been quite an
That's how,
outbreak
like-
of women teachers sleeping with their students recently, like 4 separate cases.
Nice.
That's right under that post there was that
Nice.
nice.
As
video
reminds
from
us, so
South
everything comes back to South
Nice.
Park, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, women teachers are apparently very horny.
Nice.
Park. I think there's a pretty big difference in a.
That's
older
see,
woman.
that's another one I could there. Now it's our list of 12 things you can be a horny teacher. Actually, I think that costume's done every year.
Yeah. Literally, not even just every year, like every week.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Well, if you're a guy, that's pretty cool, but you don't want a horny teacher if you're a girl. Most times that's not going to be fun.
I mean, unless you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who am I to judge?
Reminds me of Mean Girls. The teacher who sleeps with the 2 Asian girls
Yeah.
and then they fight over them. God, that movie is perfection. I think we have to have a Mean Girls themed episode all in itself.
Yes.
Yeah, so we like Halloween. That's a consensus, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Because we're doing a Halloween podcast, it'd be pretty awkward if we didn't like Halloween.
Fuck Halloween. What? I'm sorry.
Hey, no, that's not nice. Before, I'm just going to hand the mic over to anyone else if they want to bring something up before I get into the next Halloween thing.
Yeah.
No one has anything?
No, not really.
For the record, I brought up the fact that this is a Halloween podcast earlier this afternoon, so
You know,
I forgot to do that. I get these things in my head and I forget to actually share them with people.
I've noticed.
It's
You told
one of my-
me a while ago.
Yeah, no, actually, I did tell you when I first invited you back on. I said we're having a Halloween themed episode. Would you like to come on? And then you said yes. So
You know.
I just forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I forgot to dress up as Sailor Moon, though.
Yeah.
Kenny was not very.
Let's put it on record right now that when we reach 1,000 likes on our Setbacks and Shot of Tequila page, which you can go check out on Facebook,
But
please
don't
like it,
Facebook.com/Setbacks
like our page, please, like our page,
Don't
please,
like it,
please.
please.
Because once we hit 1,000 likes, Brody's going to dress up as Sailor Moon, come back on, and we're not going to just do a podcast.
That's going to be our first video podcast.
No, we're going to do a video podcast before that because it's going to take
I'll
a long time.
twerk to a song in my Sailor.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Gonna happen.
You keep dreading this,
Make
but
a
yet
whole
you keep
video.
adding to it.
I'll be like super serious when I do it too.
That serious face.
I can't
I'll go
wait.
like full anaconda on it.
You'll be like that
can't wait.
popsicle on Katy Perry's.
Who's going to be Wheelchair
music video.
Jimmy?
Wheelchair Jimmy?
Drake.
Oh, yeah. When she like walks away from him at the end.
Everyone sounds so unimpressed this podcast. We're like, yeah, that thing happened. That was funny.
I'm tired. I'm sorry.
We're all tired and angry and frustrated.
No, things are rolling here. We're happy.
Yeah.
we're happy. Anyways,
Oh, fuck. I was going to fucking talk about that before we had
Happy?
a shot. Happy, yes, that fucking song. Did you know there's a 24-hour music video to that song?
is it an actual music video or is it something someone made on the internet?
It's fan-made, but it's an actual music video somebody made for the song.
Is it looping over and over again?
No, the cool thing about it, like, the song loops over and over again.
Well,
But,
the song's not 24 hours long, so I would assume so.
Yeah, but every single, like, loop of the song is one continuous shot. Like, one unbroken continuous shot. And, like, when you start it, like, in this music video world, it's midnight. And then as you keep going, like, because when you're watching the video, it has this clock in the corner. And as you're watching it, like this clock will actually go in real time. And it'll be that time in the video. So, like, you can, like, click on the clock to skip to, like, noon, and it'll be, like, daylight.
That's super cool.
You can click to, like, 9 o'clock, and, like, it'll go to the 9 o'clock version. It'll be, like 9 in the evening.
What's the shot of? What's the video of?
It's people dancing to the song. Like, it's a music video. Like, what you think of, like, with a music video. But it goes
Why,
on
though?
for 24 hours.
Why would somebody do that?
I think it was a film project.
Why to that song, though? That song is so terrible.
Because, I don't know, probably because it's really repetitive.
Yeah. Well, I can think of way
I
more
wouldn't say
repetitive
it's
songs.
terrible. It's just overplayed.
I didn't like it from the
it's
beginning.
terrible.
I like a lot of music. I like a lot of shitty music, and that song's terrible.
Yeah.
That's not for me, but I have a different taste of.
Yeah,
Pharrell, if you
yeah.
want to be on the show still, we love you. Nothing against you. You just write terrible music.
dude.
And you're really old. Come on, dude. Just die already. I'm kidding. Sorry. That went really dark.
He made a fantastic music video with It
The
Girl.
the anime one.
It's the
or-
waifu video.
Yeah.
Tuned out already.
Sorry, as soon as you said anime, I
No,
went,
Pharrell made.
yeah,
like
I
an
saw that. I
okay.
saw that. I saw that. Luke showed me that.
Yeah. Did I?
You did. So
I don't remember showing you that at all.
I think it'd only be appropriate if we share some scary stories back and forth.
Sure.
Well, it's Halloween. What else? I only got all these red lights to make it spooky. Keep in mind that this building is supposedly haunted, and we've had some weird experiences so far.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't we get into that first? Because
Sure. Why not?
that's something we all experienced. What episode was that? Episode 9.
9. Episode 9. Yes.
Episode 9,
It was
yes.
episode 9.
I had to count my head. The first episode was the first episode that happened in the studio. It was the 5 of us.
It was the episode where the power cut out at the end, and I had to do the the outro on my own there.
We have yet to talk about what happened after the power went out on...
Yeah, I don't think we did talk about that. Did we? No.
No, we didn't talk about that. Actually, we forgot. I think we wanted to wait till somebody on that podcast was back, and it just so
Yeah.
happens that... Can you poke him? I think he's falling asleep.
Oh, I'm good.
I think... well, Brody, why don't you... Here, we'll wake you up here. Why don't you...
Yeah, why don't you tell the story since you're falling asleep?
Tell the story of what happened after the podcast ended with the power outage.
Kenny, why don't you tell?
We went walking around outside when we walked down a back alley, and this really creepy hobbit dude drove up to us in his truck, and he used to work at my company.
Sorry, I'm just going to pause you right there. Do you know what this sounds like right now? When an adult asks a kid, what did the man do to you? And he's really quiet, and he's like, well, and then he, and then that happened, and then this. Want to liven yourself up there over, just, maybe.
I'm not good at telling stories.
Well, you're better learn.
Okay.
Pressure's completely on you.
Cheer up.
Come on,
Bucko.
enthusiasm.
Brighten up.
Let's do this.
Well,
All right,
get
so
pumped.
we're walking
Get
down this
hyped.
back alley, and
What kind of back alley?
the kind with like rocks and gravel in it. And,
Yes. Keep going.
yeah, slower. Yeah, we met this dude that I actually used to work with. Cool story about this guy. The first time I met him, I was alone in the change room with him, and he told me about his prostate exam, and he was like blocking the door so I couldn't leave. He's a cool guy. Not really though, but
Creepy as fuck.
yeah. I even made a Facebook post about it. If you ever want to look.
About
Am I quiet?
A little bit.
very
yeah.
quiet.
Okay.
Maybe sit up.
Yeah. And put the phone
But
down.
then when I breathe, I'm like,
That's right. We can edit that in post.
okay.
Yeah.
So this creepy guy, yeah. What did this creepy guy do?
He didn't really do anything, but you guys were like super scared of him.
I was freaked out just from the point the lights
He was
went
actually
out.
like super nice to us. He was like, "Oh, hey, how you?"
But
guys
like
doing?"
Too
super
nice.
Yeah, and super nice in the creepy way.
Uncomfortably nice. And the thing is that we haven't mentioned yet, because as far as when the podcast ended, we thought a breaker went in the room because
Yeah, we
First time-
we thought it was us. We thought it was the building.
first time running a podcast, we had so many things plugged in, everything was
So
happening.
many.
So we were like, crap, we blew breaker. Which, let's just right off the bat, we didn't blow breaker, and I'm very relieved because that would have been a problem. But
Yeah,
after wandering around the studio, all of us,
Because this building is very creepy. It was dark as dicks
and
in here.
it's a pretty big building.
Yeah.
And so we all scared shitless. We were all like going around trying.
And I think all of us had like PT on our minds.
Yes.
We were all thinking of PT
Yeah.
and like we expected to see just like some like
Something creepy.
woman, like just kind of standing
we were
there.
waiting for
that
that
would be a good game to play on our.
channel. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anyways,
I
so
think
we
it might be a little. Maybe wait until the actual full game releases before.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I think PT is a little played out right now.
keep in mind that I think we've mentioned in a previous podcast that the building we're in has a prison cell just down the hall from our actual studio.
And it's supposedly haunted.
The whole building's apparently haunted, and I thought someone said that just to mess with me when we were moving in, but no, apparently like people are like, no, we don't want to go in that building anymore. So fun. Anyways, so we wander around the building, can't find the breaker. We're like, okay, well, let's just go outside, figure something out. Open the door, and this is so creepy.
Darkness.
Pitch black outside.
Nothing.
No street lights. Keep in mind we were in an alley, but
We're
no
still in the
street
middle
lights.
of town.
Yeah, we're in like as central town as you can get.
Yeah.
No street lights, nothing.
No
It was the
sounds.
most eerie feeling ever.
Yeah, it was completely silent too.
It reminded me like a horror video game,
Oh, absolutely.
and we actually joked around about that.
Our first thought was Silent Hill.
Yeah, I think we all said that, and we were like, well, we're all dead.
Yeah, just waiting for Pyramid Head to come rolling around the corner there.
So, needless to say, we were too afraid to go back in the building, too afraid to wander around. So we walked to the bar, didn't we,
Yeah.
to
'Cause
find out what was
everybody-
happening?
Somebody's gonna be at the bar
Definitely.
at all times.
And apparently, we found out there that something happened to a transformer, and the power was out for the whole county.
Yeah, it was countywide.
A county, if you don't
Everywhere.
know, is a cluster of towns.
I think everybody knows what a county is.
I actually didn't know that it was just a cluster of towns.
Well, it's a specific
it's an
area.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a province but smaller.
Yeah. Anyways, so the whole county the power went out. So we decided, well, shit, might as well just walk around town, right? And actually, we videotaped pretty much the whole thing.
I still have to edit all of that.
Yeah, we were gonna do
so
that
much
leading up to
footage to
Halloween,
go
but
through.
we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen before Halloween.
And it was just the
Try that
three
much.
of us, and we just wandered around town, and it was amusing. A lot of boring parts if we were to post the whole thing, but all in all, it was weird. It was definitely a weird experience.
Yeah, it was I think by the end of it, it was like, okay, that was a fun night, but like during it, it's like, this is weird. What is going on?
And actually, I think the creepiest part for me was we drove to my house to grab flashlights just because it was so dark and all our phones were dead. And I opened the side door and I look, and the door to go
Yeah.
into my house was wide open.
That was creepy
Oh,
as
yeah, I
shit.
remember that.
I was freaked.
Yeah, everybody was freaked the fuck out.
Because of course, nobody was at my house.
Yeah.
And it was sitting there wide open. I was like, okay.
We're gonna die.
Yeah. Found out, actually, I haven't told you guys this yet. It was Lisa, who was, because she had to go there and grab something. She left the door wide open. She was like, oh, that was me. I was like, do you know how freaking scary that was? After the power outage?
Bitch. I mean, what? No, we love you, Lisa.
I don't. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I said,
But
Yes. Have you,
now you wake up for that.
have you seen that Key and
you
Peele?
did say that, though.
Key and
right?
Peele, no. I haven't seen that. Key and
You know
Peele.
who Key and Peele
Yes, I know who
are?
Key and Peele
Okay.
are.
I said,
Okay, you have to see that one.
Anyway, we're trying to set a scary tone here.
Sorry.
Anyway, that was about all I had to talk about that night. Definitely weird and creepy.
okay.
I think the power. How long was it before the power came back on?
It was a couple hours.
Well, yeah, I know that, but do you
I don't
remember?
know what time.
I think it was about.
no.
About
My phone was dead.
And our podcast ended at 9:30.
about 2 hours or so.
I have literally
It
no
came back on
concept
at
of
midnight.
time without my phone.
Oh, that's true. But 2.5 hours, let's say. A large
Lot
chunk of time.
footage.
Yeah. But in general, it just so that was our first weird experience with this building.
Did we have a second one?
We did, and I know we did, but I'm trying to think what happened last week that was weird. There was something last week oh hell.
Was it while I wasn't here and you guys were getting drunk?
Oh god, let's not talk about that. I didn't get home till 6 in the morning after that podcast.
Yeah.
Was it something to do with No. It wasn't anything to do with that. Now I can't remember. It might have been something when I was here by myself. Oh Jesus. Kenny, get it together. Yes, I do remember what it was.
Shit, Tyrone, get it together.
Was it during the podcast or was it after you were still here? No, you were still here. We were sitting in here. Yes, you were still here. And we heard the door open
Yeah.
and close.
Yeah. We heard like somebody come in, but like nobody was here.
This was at 2:30 in the morning, keep in
Yeah.
mind.
That's creepy as heck.
I just gave
Yeah.
myself chills just rethinking that. Yeah, and I remember because I went out there and checked because I had the Iron Man shield.
Yeah. I have a picture of that.
Captain
You, like,
America
cowering
shield.
behind the shield. with, like,
I
your
went out
beard.
there and checked, and there was no one. I went outside. There was no vehicle. So the door opened to
So
the
creepy.
door opened, and we all clearly heard it.
Yeah.
It wasn't during the podcast. It was after.
Yeah.
Because it was at about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Door opened
Weirdest fucking thing.
and closed, and that was it. If you yawn one more time, I'm gonna throw this
sorry.
beer can at you.
Well, we should have started earlier.
Oh, don't start. Anyways, yeah, so that's a second creepy thing that's happened. I'm waiting for thing number 3 to happen tonight. Yes. As Luke's sitting with his back to the entrance
to
of the
the door,
studio,
yeah.
I've just been staring at his face.
I'm relying on you to warn me.
Just wait till we get into these stories. These are actually, like, pretty creepy.
I can definitely bring up some creepy ones.
One of them's a creepy pasta, which I'm going to start with.
Oh, I love the creepypasta.
Do you know the one I'm going to bring up? I think I've told you.
I might. You haven't told me what it is.
The
yet.
hotel,
Let's-
the
let's-
numberless hotel room.
Yes. Yes.
Are you good at telling that? Because I can sort of tell it.
I
do you-
can bring it up so I can actually tell it like word for word.
Well, I think it's good with, like, an added personal touch, but do you want to do it that way?
Sure. I'll see if I can find it first.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say because I've told it so many times.
You are pretty good at telling it.
I'm kind of freaked out now because I totally forgot about that where the door opened and closed and there was nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Whoever came in could still be in this building because it was only a week ago. I never check any of the other rooms before I come in here, except the prison cell. Anyways, so now I'm staring at the threshold of the door.
Like I said, I'm relying on you. Oh,
Of course, all the lights are off in the
I
building
think
too.
I found the story.
We did. Do you want go ahead and why don't you tell the story then?
Apparently, I have the voice for radio, so I can probably.
You
tell
do
the
have a
story.
very radio-ish voice.
I still don't believe the Seth MacFarlane thing. I'm sorry. You keep bringing that up, and I don't believe you.
One day
Seth
you'll realize
MacFarlane?
it. He sounds like Seth MacFarlane. Anyways, okay.
Apparently, I sound like Seth MacFarlane.
Tell the
according
story.
to YouTube.
You totally do.
Right?
I don't believe
Holy
it. I'm sorry.
crap.
This is no. I'm sorry.
Okay, just get in with this story.
Give me-
I'm starting to get
give me-
spooked.
Give me a second. Apparently, this website literally has like an age gate.
All I can hear is Seth MacFarlane now.
You fuck.
All I can
I
hear
can't
is
hear it,
doors
I'm
opening
sorry.
and closing. And the furnace just shut off.
Yeah, it got so quiet for a second.
Okay, go ahead, Luke. Tell the
Okay.
story.
Apparently, this is written from the third person perspective. I think it's a lot better from the first person. but I'm just going to...
I tell it in third person.
Yeah. A man went to a hotel and walked up to the front desk to check in. The woman at the desk gave him his key and told him that on the way to his room, there was a door with no number that was locked and no one was allowed in there. Especially no one should look inside the room under any circumstances. So he followed the instructions of the woman at the front desk, goes straight to his room and going to bed. The next night, his curiosity would not leave him alone about this room with no number on the door. He walked down the hall to the door and tried the handle. Sure enough, it was locked. He bent down and looked through the wide keyhole. Cold air passed through it, chilling his eye. What he saw was a hotel bedroom like his, and in the corner was a woman whose skin was completely white. She was leaning her head against the wall, facing away from the door. He stared in confusion for a while. He almost knocked on the door out of curiosity, but decided not to. This disinclination saved his life. He crept away from the door and walked back to his room. The next day, he returned to the door and looked through the wide keyhole. This time, all he saw was red. He couldn't make anything out beside a distinct red color, unmoving. Perhaps the inhabitants of the room knew he was spying in the night before and had blocked the keyhole with something red. At this point, he decided to consult the woman at the front desk for more information. She sighed and said, "Did you look through the keyhole?" Man told her that, yeah, he had, and she said, "Well, I might as well tell you the story. A long time ago, a man murdered his wife in that room, and her ghost haunts it. But these people were not ordinary. They were white all over, except for their eyes, which were red."
We both stared at his reaction. Did you get that or did it go over your head? He's still putting it together. Think about it.
I might have read it a little too fast.
Well, I was like thinking in my head, so I didn't get the whole story. Did someone look through the keyhole back at him?
Yes.
She was staring directly back at him.
Okay.
You're the first person that hasn't instantly gone, "Ugh," after hearing the story.
I only like partially.
Like I said, I probably read that too fast.
I actually read it very well. It was very
No,
soothing.
you did really read it really well.
So yeah, that's just a story that goes around the internet. Obviously, it's fake.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get the kind of real creepy shit because little context here for the next little portion of this. All these stories are true cases, and they've all come from the same source, which happens to be my mother. Shout out, Mom. I love you.
Love you,
I have a creepy story from my mom too.
Just wait.
you're sharing
We can
that
have
one, too.
we can have a competition. I can list off 10 of them. I won't list off all of them, but I'll go through some of the ones that.
My mom used to work as a nurse for a psychiatric ward, so
Oh really? Well,
it's a
good.
pretty fucked up story.
We'll do yours after.
Yeah.
Well, something's up with yours. So my mother had, for the longest time, I would always, try and jump out and scare her because I like doing that, just to startle people, just to make, whoa, no, everyone does that. Need Kleenex, somebody? I keep hearing sniffling on the audio.
Sorry. So sorry. I'm just like fucking up this whole podcast.
No, your presence is lovely. Sorry, that sounded really rude. I would always do that, and she would always get so upset with me. Now I'm starting to do
Yeah, I was totally going to call you out on that.
She always got upset with me and said how she hates getting startled, and of course, to this day, I still occasionally do it because I'm a horrible son, and I didn't really understand why. And it wasn't until I was older that she started telling me. She said I had a lot of weird things happen to me when I was younger, and it's just I don't like that stuff. I don't want to be near that stuff. She doesn't watch horror movies. She stays away from anything creepy. And see now I'll see you pass the Ebola to me, and so she would, she'd just say I don't like that kind of stuff. So finally, when I got a little older, she started telling me some of the cases that spooked her out so much as a child. And I'll start with some pretty simple ones. There was a few cases. Now I should have wrote these down, but I think I've retold these so many times and had her retell them so many times that they're pretty engraved in my brain. One of them was when she was younger, her and her friends were just playing outside, and where they lived, there was this kind of coulee, kind of more or less of a ditch that they would cross to get to, I don't know, the park or wherever they were playing. That doesn't really matter. And one day, her and her friends went to where they were going, and they jumped over this coulee. And after she jumped over the coulee, she had this kind of weird, kind of chilling feeling. And, didn't think anything of it, just kept going. Later that night, they got home, and they were watching the news, and sure enough, there was a dead body right in that part of the coulee in the ditch that they recovered later that night. That was somebody obviously dumped off. So that was kind of the first thing that ever kind of tipped things off. Actually, I have no idea what order these came in. But another kind of weird case that happened to her is when she was, again, younger. I think she maybe was like 13, 14. She was at her parents' house and everyone was in bed and she was sitting up watching TV. And it was during the summertime and she got up because there was kind of a cool draft coming in. So she got up and she went to go close the window. So she got up. When she got up, guys, just make sure that's clear. I don't think I made that clear enough. And walks in the kitchen. She goes to close the big window and she looks up and there's a man standing on the other side of the window staring at her.
Oh, Jesus.
She screams at the top of her lungs, so the man darts away. And my grandpa, her dad, comes running out in his underwear, like, what the hell's happening, right?
Yeah.
They never heard from that guy again or seen him. He just left. So who knows who that guy was, which is even weirder.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Another one that's kind of longer, but this one just, ugh. I hate telling these because they creep me out, just especially when she tells them. She's good at telling them. I wanted to have her on, but I was like, no, that's mean. Just to have her. Mom, do that thing you do where you tell those scary stories. Do it.
Where you relive those horrible moments and have a breakdown.
Yeah, so anyways.
At least it'd be recorded.
Yeah. Mom, if you're listening to this, well, I think I told you I was telling these stories anyways. Love ya. So this was back, she was in middle school. I think this might have been... Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I have to clear my throat. She was probably around the same age, 13, 14. I think grade 8. Anyways, that stuff's not particular. And she had this friend who was this kind of outcast friend. Didn't have a lot of other friends, but she was friends with my mom, and my mom was friends with her. I think everybody has that kind of friend that you're friends with that no one else really likes, or everyone thinks it's weird, but you get along
Kenny,
with them.
Right?
The Kenny. Everyone has their Kenny.
No, I'm just kidding.
Everyone has their Brody, I should say. And so she was friends with this girl for a while, and the girl was weird and different, but whatever. You don't really think much of it. Everyone's kind of has their quirk or whatever. And they live. And the other thing worth noting is they were neighbors. So my mom was going to school one day, and she got a page to the office. So she went up to the office, and the lady there said, "Your friend, I don't remember her name, one of her kittens drowned in the lake. Somebody stole one of her kittens and drowned in the lake, and she's really upset. I'd like you. We know you're her only friend. We'd like you to kind of console her and, make her feel better." So my mom, kind of consoled her friend at the office or in the nurse's room or whatever. And so that was about all that happened. And then about a week later, same thing happened. Somebody drowned another one of her kittens. So my mom went and they called her up and she kind of consoled her friend. And this happened a few times. Anyone else hear that?
I did.
That was creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Someone else heard that noise?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What the fuck?
As I'm telling this story. Okay. Anyway.
I'm gonna have to go over and make sure that my audio editing doesn't cancel that out. That needs to be picked up.
Anyways, let's not pay too much attention to that noise.
Please keep an eye on the door, please.
Can we talk about something else now? I'm actually honestly kind of freaked out.
Let's keep going.
Anyway, so this trend kind of kept happening for a little while until the point where one day her friend didn't show up to school. And so she didn't really think anything of it. Went to school. When she was coming home, as she was walking by her friend's house, which was next to her house, there was a bunch of police cars and everything. Luke's playing with his little fake axe right now. Good call. There was a bunch of police cars around the house. So she walked up to the property and kind of was like, what's going on, right? And one of the officers says, "Do you know this girl?" And he, said the name. She was like, "Yeah, that's, I go to school with her." And he says, "Well, it turns out she slit her dog's throat and left it hanging outside."
So she turned out to...
She was the one who was drowning all the kittens. And my mom thinks it was a cry for attention. But so they kind of sent her to the, psycho ward. And that's the last you ever heard of that girl.
Sociopathic behavior. Holy shit.
Yeah, so that kind of screwed my mom up. I'm going to tell one more because I'm starting to kind of get creeped out.
Oh, I got a couple I can tell.
Oh, God. Are they real? Well, I want to hear Brody's. I'm kind of freaked to hear Brody.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell this last
Totally
one.
heard something in the hallway.
Fuck you.
I'm not joking.
Fuck
That
you.
noise we heard. We might have to take an intermission to turn the lights on in the building.
You're really twitchy now.
I'm not mad anymore. I'm scared.
Please stop looking down.
I have a knife in my hand. That's why I'm just looking down, cleaning my knife. Last story. Actually, I totally forgot about this story because one day it was my mom. You can just hear rifling sounds through your pocket. It was my mom, Lisa, and I. It was 2 summers ago. We were sitting outside one night, and my mom recapped all these stories, and then she told this other one, which I totally forgot about. But what are you doing?
Giving me a knife just in case.
So we can all be armed. You know. YOLO.
I totally forgot about this story. That was Brody. That thud.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to like cut out no background noise for this episode.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Anyways, I totally forgot about the story. And then it was 2 weeks ago. We were out having a campfire, and we started talking about these stories. And Lisa brought this one up, and it actually creeped me out just rehearing this story. I'm kind of freaked out to tell it. My mom was at this point. She was older. She was probably, I think she was 16, 17. I could get these ages wrong. I'm pretty sure, to my best recollection, this is how old she was. And they were living in this house, and she was living in the basement, of course, as we're in the basement right now. And one night she was laying in bed, and she heard kind of a rustling noise, kind of weird noise. And it kind of startled her, and she was laying in bed, frozen solid, because it sounded like somebody was coming towards her room, right?
Yeah.
Laying there, like, perfectly still, freaked out, didn't make a sound. Waited a few more seconds. All of a sudden, she heard the sound of a table being bumped, and she had little porcelain figurines on the table.
Yeah.
And she heard kind of the sound of the
Jingle jangle.
Yeah. Of course, just thinking about that kind of is freaking me out right now. But so she was laying there perfectly still, not moving whatsoever. And there was silence. Just silence for probably 5 minutes. Until, oh good, the heater's coming back. We have some background noise.
Yeah, that's...
Sitting there in pure silence after hearing that sound until the point where she doesn't hear anything anymore. Finally, she falls asleep hours later. Wakes up next day to her mom, my grandma, coming in and saying, I was just wondering, why was there a cloth wedged in your doorway? And she goes, what? So somebody went into her bedroom, obviously bumped the table, made noise, and when they were leaving, they grabbed a cloth and put it in the doorway so the door would make a sound as they left, and left the house.
That's pretty scary.
Jesus.
So someone was standing, staring at her in her bedroom, and then slowly left.
Fuck.
I have a similar
True story.
to that one too.
What?
I have a similar story to that.
Is that the one you were going to tell?
No.
Is this a personal story for you?
Yeah. So, I don't know if you know what sleep paralysis is, but it's basically when you wake up out of a dead sleep and
Yes.
You can't move though. Your
Like,
body,
yeah. You're awake, but your brain
Body.
hasn't like.
As if
come
you're
out of sleep yet.
paralyzed. If your
Yeah.
whole body's paralyzed.
Yeah,
it's
because
like hard
hence
to talk
paralysis.
about too.
yeah, because when you go into sleep, your body like paralyzes itself as like kind of like a safety mechanism, so you don't hurt yourself in your sleep. Mm-hmm. But then you can wake up without that turning off, and it can like cause hallucinations if you get like caught in that.
So I've had that since I was like extremely little, and when I moved to Carstairs,
Shout out, Carson
Yeah.
Rebecca.
moved into
Represent.
this 100-some-year-old house, and like I always had the sleep paralysis, but every single time that I had it in that Carstairs house, I would see a black figure in the corner with like bright yellow eyes. And I'm not lying about this, and I would see it every time I had this sleep paralysis, and it freaked me the fuck out. And as soon as I moved out of the Carstairs house, it stopped. And I actually Googled it about, like, I was just, my friend, he says, like, your dreams have something to do with, like, your future and shit. I don't
Yeah.
believe that kind of stuff, but thought I would look it up. So I start to Google like what this could mean, and this happens to a lot of people where they see this black figure, like this black shadow person with piercing yellow eyes, and that scared me so bad.
Hello?
Hey, Kenny?
Oh, what's up?
Is that one of your guys' red trucks out there?
Yo, is it in the way?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We just wanted to make sure that it was going to be moved by tomorrow, because that snow
Yeah.
pad has to be
Yeah.
moved, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of us.
Chicken shit.
Yeah.
There's context to this. Yes, anyways. It's this whole thing we're doing right now.
Oh.
We're doing a Halloween themed thing, and we're kind of telling creepy ass fucking stories.
Well, what I would do is, when you guys are here, what I always do is I just lock that door. Especially because you never know. Like,
Oh, no.
one day Timmy was in the shop.
Maybe point the mic his way here.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going.
One day Timmy was in the shop and two guys like came up and were knocking on the door trying to get in and stuff. asking what we
Holy
were
shit.
doing.
We had an instance, we were just talking about this. Last weekend, we were here all fucking night. 2:30 in the morning, we heard somebody open the door and close it. So we went out there and checked, and there was nobody. No one near, like no one in the building and no one like in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It was freaking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, note is helpful.
Maybe we should lock that door.
I forgot to, actually.
It's a good idea.
It's just easier that way.
It was,
Especially because when I'm in the shop, you can't see the door because the tint on the shop doors.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, they were trying to push in. Like, Timmy went to the door and he opens it up and they were like trying to push in and stuff, seeing what's going on in the shop.
Jesus. All right. Thanks for that note.
Disappointed.
Maybe on your way out, you can just turn that lock.
Yeah, I just gotta grab some parts.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey,
See ya.
guys later.
Anyway.
A special cameo.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry, that kind of took away
Should
from
we
the.
lock like the door to the studio?
I don't think. Oh, maybe we can. Should we leave? Are we gonna leave that in there?
Yeah, we are absolutely leaving that in there. But maybe
Okay.
you should go up and like,
He's gonna lock it. He'll lock it.
no, like the door to the studio. See if you can lock that for me.
We'll take an intermission here shortly. Anyway, sorry, we totally interrupted your story.
Continue.
I was at the end. Like I just Googled it, and a lot of people have seen this person.
What's the
Or
person?
thing.
What's it mean?
It didn't have a meaning. It's just a lot of people have seen it. So, and it's always in the top corner of the room, staring down at you.
It's like some insidious shit right there. That movie.
It's exactly like that.
They're working
Did
on
that-
a third one.
Yeah. Did that movie? Have you seen the original?
Yes.
Did it
I
freak
saw it
you
with
out?
you, didn't I?
Yeah, me, you, Brady,
Yeah.
and Seamus.
Yeah.
Did it kind of weird? Like, having that same kind of stuff happen to you? Did it freak you out?
That's what made it scary to me. But when you see like the black guy, it's fucking not black guy, but his body just looks like it's made out of shadows. Then he has like these big yellow eyes. It's fucking scary.
When you say that, the first thing that comes to mind is the end of the Michael Jackson Thriller music video where he turns around and his eyes are yellow.
Is it because he said black guy?
No,
I didn't mean it like that.
no, that's creepy as hell. And
I
actually,
just want to say with that movie, like that movie had did an excellent job of keeping a really creepy vibe during the beginning. During the end, a lot of people don't like the end. I liked it because it was like the Are You Afraid of the Dark TV show as a movie.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect level of cheesy. But I do want to say two moments in that movie that did genuinely, 3 moments in that movie that did genuinely creep me the fuck out. The first kind of jump scare where you see the monster
behind his head.
That was good.
Oh.
Like I remember that moment. Like, both of us.
The
We were
trailer
just kinda
ruined that.
Whoa!
No, I yelled "fuck" so loud
Yeah.
because I was looking. I had a backpack
Yeah,
with me, and
yeah.
I was fumbling with it. And right when I looked
remember
up,
that.
that's what happened. I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
And there was a. I won't tell that part, but there was.
There was also the part where they go into their kid's crib, and there's that person like there's the
Standing
red
at the
light.
window?
Scared the hell
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
me.
like that scared the hell out of me because like I actually didn't notice the person.
Oh,
until,
and when he goes like
just-
this,
I didn't notice the person until the shot just changed.
No.
When it was like just about to change, I didn't even see.
No,
it.
it's not the scene when they say, "What do you want?" and he goes and he points his finger at the baby's crib.
Yeah, it was a scene like where like the baby monitor starts freaking out, so they go to the kids' room to investigate.
That scene.
And like the light in that room is red. And there's that figure like standing over the crib.
Okay.
I didn't even notice the figure until the shot was just about to change, so I just saw it for a split second. And, like everybody else was freaking out. I'm like, what? Oh God!
That part where he's like walking back and forth on the balcony and then
he just
walks in
to the.
Oh, that got me.
That
was so
when he was
scary.
walking outside, that reminded me of that story my mom told me about that guy standing out the window. Can we just quickly call attention to what just happened, because we didn't really.
Sorry, one more freaky moment in that movie.
Okay.
The tiptoe through the tulip scene. She's doing the garden.
Hate/love that song because of that movie now.
Yeah, I never saw it as creepy before, but now
Now that song creeps me the fuck
Tiny
out every time I
Tim.
hear it.
Yeah.
Oh God! People had to tie me down to watch that movie the first time. It was this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
Now I freaking love that movie. Yeah. So sorry, what just happened? Our building is shared with. There's a autograph shop attached to the building, and one of the guys there just came in here to. Obviously, I think you heard the majority of it. Just
He looked familiar.
Yeah, he's
Is
it's
that Jordan Tax's
James
brother?
Tax.
James Tax.
Yeah, that was James. Holy crap, that scared the hell out of me. You might want to turn on the volume because I kind of yelled hello. I kind of felt really. I was like, oh, it's just him, and then he tells that story about those guys trying to get into the building, and it just ruined it all again. But that still doesn't justify the first sound we heard when we both commented on it. No, that was like a moaning sound.
Yeah.
That's still kind of. I'm shaking right now. Anyways, you have a story about your mom, or?
Yeah, my mom used to work as a nurse in a psychiatric ward or whatever. And she would basically work with the victims that were sexually abused and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one lady there. She was in her 30s or so, late 30s. And she was raped by her dad. This is a really dark story, and
That's right.
it's pretty fucked up. Anyway, she never talked after that for like... She didn't really talk at all, but my mom would have to help her bathe and stuff because the events were so traumatic that she basically developed a psychosis, and she couldn't do a lot of stuff for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time my mom bathed her, she just started screaming, "I'll never be clean, I'll never be clean, I'll never be clean, I'll never be clean." She grabbed my mom's arms, she grabbed my mom's hair, and she was just screaming it in her face. My mom quit the same day.
Yeah, I don't fucking doubt it.
And my mom said that's fucking haunted her for years.
Christ, that actually there's a couple more stories about my mom just are kind of coming to me as you. One of them, another kind of quick little thing that happened to her is she was her and two friends were, I forget, they're trying to go somewhere, or one friend wanted to go to this place, and she was determined to go, and they had no ride, and she was like, I'm just gonna hitchhike it, right? Around the same time, there was this guy going around who would pick up hitchhikers and murder them, and of course my mom was like, no,
Picton?
you what?
Picton?
Say that again.
Picton?
BC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course my mom and her friend were like, no, you don't do that, like, please don't do that, it's the dumbest idea. Last words ever heard from my mom's friend from anyone was, it won't happen to me. They later named that highway the Highway of Tears.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was in BC. Yeah, the same.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
So
terrifying.
and it wasn't until probably 5-6 years ago when my mom found out that actually is what happened to her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That she was murdered by that guy.
Fuck.
Yeah, and yeah, he's famous in BC for like being a serial killer.
He's famous
Everywhere.
Like, everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
He, like even
What's
like a
his
lot
name?
of people in the States know, but Robert Picton.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they named a highway in BC. They call it the Highway of Tears, and that was the highway she hitchhiked on.
Yeah. The story you told earlier, the one about the person in your mom's room,
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of a story I read on Reddit a little while ago. There's this thing. It was like what's like people sharing like the creepiest stories they'd ever read on Reddit, and one of them linked was there was this woman who she was having trouble like with like sleep apnea and stuff like that, and I guess like one of the things people do when they have that is like there's like phone apps that like they record you while you sleep. So
I know what that noise is. It's okay. Keep going.
yeah. It records you while you sleep so that you can hear like if you have any irregular breathing patterns when you're sleeping and stuff like that. But she was like checking over like the tapes like one night, and she heard a voice, like somebody like she like it was a noise. It was like kind of like a ticking noise, and then she heard her own voice go like it was like what's that or something like that, and then it was like this deep voice saying it's nothing, and then like more like ticking noise.
I'm ducking behind my pop filter as if it's a pillow right now, so I can't see if anything's coming in the room right now. Luke,
Fucker.
keep talking.
Yeah.
This is a reason, just worth mentioning, why I put my seat the farthest from the door is because going into this, I knew about this building has some weird stuff.
You fuck.
You put your own self there.
Yeah.
You're in the Assassin's Creed costume.
Yeah,
You're the one who has to pull off all the scary.
We're gonna take a break from the scary here for a second. I just want to worth noting that I wonder what this looks like for someone who doesn't exactly know what we do in here to walk into this room, look at everything that's happening, look at you in a sombrero and poncho.
Yeah, I know. He was just like staring at me.
He was just like, he stopped for a second. He's like, Kenny? I was like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, so just if you're listening here, James, apologize for that. This is a podcast, and we should probably we're recording sign outside somewhere, but that's okay.
We should.
It added to the.
We'll order that off Amazon.
It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it did. When I actually heard the door opening.
It would have been great if he just didn't answer.
Yeah,
and he just started walking down the stairs like real slow.
I'm thinking about what happened last weekend. I totally forgot about that. I think I got too drunk to think about it, but
yeah.
I forgot about that.
I did too. And I left on my own too.
Yeah, I still don't know. And I was hoping when I said that to him, he'd be like, "Oh, that was me." Nope.
Nope.
Oh, maybe it was one of those two guys who's been trying to get in this building before.
Yeah.
Anyways, another story. This one, actually, I don't fully understand it. I'm not going to be able to tell it with exact justice that, like, my mom would be able to tell it, just because I don't understand it completely, but I'm going to tell it to the best of my knowledge. Because this kind of stuff's a little... I don't know if I believe it's true, but she swears by it with all her heart. It took years for her to actually tell this story. Because I'd always say, like, and I'd always prod her, I'd be like, do you have any more? And she was like, yeah, I do, but I really don't want to talk about this one because I don't like talking about it. Mm. She told us once, which was a nice night her, Lisa, and I were sitting outside and one summer night. She's never said it since, but she told us one story, and she was at a friend's house, and I don't exactly remember the details. Again, I've only heard this one once, but she was at a friend's house, and the roommate of the friend, I believe, was this really weird girl who kind of was into all this. She had all like the Ouija board and the voodoo dolls and all that kind of creepy ass shit that you don't
One
touch.
of the Wiccans.
Yeah.
Nobody will do a Ouija board with me. It's so depressing.
I do, but I don't at the same time. Anyways, we'll talk about Ouija boards after because I have some things I want to talk about there. They were sitting one day, and my mom was sitting with her friend in the bedroom, and they're talking about how this weird girl, they both kind of knew her a little bit, that she had this friend. I don't know if it was a friend that died, if it was a real person, or is this imaginary being thought up in this weird girl's head. But she would always talk about her and all this stuff. And my friend's mom, who lived with this girl, was, you know, she believed in it completely and stuff. And one night they were sitting in the bedroom and they were talking about it. And all of a sudden my mom got this weird rush where all of a sudden she was pulled out of her own body, looked at herself, and then went completely back in. And of course, her reaction, her friend picked up her reaction. And the first thing, and the only thing my mom's friend said to her was, "She just visited you, didn't she?"
What?
My mom,
Fuck.
she left. She was so scared. She didn't want to bring that story up. So a part of me thinks, oh, that stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, my mom wouldn't lie about something like that. She hates that kind of stuff. She doesn't think of stories like these. And it's just, I don't fully understand it. I want to learn more about it because I'm interested in like what exactly happened. But essentially, yeah, she said she had an outer body experience as if somebody like possessed her for a second.
It's definitely possible.
I
Fucked
honestly,
up,
yeah. I don't want to believe it because I don't want it to come true. But yes, that stuff is Ouija boards. Do you guys believe in Ouija boards? Do you think?
No, I don't believe in any of that kind of
I
stuff.
believe in the movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I haven't. Snapchat's starting to send trailers of that video to me.
I don't believe in Ouija boards because it's literally a toy made by Hasbro. Hasbro invented the Ouija board.
They didn't invent it, but
No,
they patented
Hasbro
it.
invented the Ouija board.
Did they?
Yeah,
Actually?
yeah. Ouija boards didn't exist before like the 1930s or whatever.
Oh,
Whenever
really?
it was,
Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting. I don't know. I want to do them, but that kind of stuff, I don't want to mess with it. There's
Better safe than sorry.
exactly. There was one story. I was visiting some friends.
Nice. Yes.
What? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I just want to say, like, I took my knife and like clipped it to my gauntlet, so it's like I have a hidden blade. The whole Assassin's
It's not
Creed
so
thing.
hidden, but
No, not at all.
You're gonna stab yourself. You're gonna put your hand down.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be the first time.
I was visiting some friends. They live about 5 hours away, and they moved into this house not too long ago. And my one friend, she swears that it's haunted, and she's very spiritual in that way. But the way she brings it up, she's like one of those people. If she says it, I'm like, okay, it's true. I believe you. Like she's one of those,
doesn't
cool.
lie.
Hopefully one day we'll have her here on the podcast because she's a very interesting person. And one day she was like, yeah, no, there's spirits in this house. And she was like, the old lady who used to live here passed away, and she loved this house so much that like her family would come visit. And she was like, no, I totally believe that she still lives in this building. And of course not. She wasn't afraid. Like she was like, no, she's friendly. Like if she's a spirit, she's a friendly spirit. But she loves this area. And so and she was telling me, she was like, I did a what's that thing where they purify a seance, yeah,
Seance.
to get rid of it. And like no hard
Exorcism.
feelings. No,
Exorcism.
no. That's when you get something out of somebody. Like she purified the house.
Exercising the house.
I guess. I don't like that word. So she did that.
Because of the movie.
I don't like exercise either.
And
See what
yeah,
you did
so
there.
she did it, and she was so chill about it. She wasn't concerned or anything. And then I kind of went with, I was like, so there's demons and stuff? And she was like, well, there could be. I was like, let's summon some demons. I kept making this joke for the whole weekend I was there. I kept being like, I was Googling how to do it and stuff. And I got to the point where I freaked myself out a little bit about it, and I kind of backed off. I was like, hey, I don't want to joke about that anymore. But I don't know. I don't think I'd want to mess with that stuff.
I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, but I have had one really, really bizarre moment.
Was it the one you already said?
No.
Oh, good. There's another one.
I was dating this girl, and her stepdad passed away while I was dating her, and they have two birds in the house, and they can like repeat stuff and stuff like that.
Repeat stuff. Repeat stuff. Repeat stuff.
Yeah.
Repeat. Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
So
I pulled a Luke.
They had this little gray bird, and this gray bird like really liked me for some weird reason. And I was sitting there on the love seat. The girl I was dating was upstairs, and her mom left to go to the bathroom. And this bird was just chilling with me on this chair. And this bird said, "Hey Brody, it's Steve." Steve was the guy who passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That has fucking horrified me. But it's not necessarily something supernatural, because the bird knew how to say, "Hey Brody," but
But you know what?
it's so weird that
probably
it
just
was
like-
said, "Hey Brody, it's Steve."
Yeah.
At least he was like friendly and just saying, "Hey, dude, like, how's it going?"
What's up?
Well, I
That's
don't believe
fine.
in that stuff, so I don't like that stuff when that happens. But
My mom swears by that stuff, and I'm starting to understand why she does.
I don't believe it at all.
But-
But it can kind of fuck with you if you think about it too
I
much.
think so. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me doesn't, but at the same time, part of me kind of does.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That was.
It was a
that
spooky ghost sound.
Was that a burp or a really wet fart?
Fucking on those dust.
Okay.
I got more
I'm
scary
spooked.
stories.
I'm spooked right now.
I got more scary stories.
But see, yours aren't as scary because I know they're like from the internet and people are weird on the internet and can come up with
This
weird
one
shit.
is. This one's not like it's not like posted to creepypasta. Like it's not like a third person story. It's like somebody posted like this on 4chan on the paranormal board a while back. And,
Okay.
I really like this story. It's called Anansi's Goatman Story.
I already hate it.
I've heard this, I
I
think.
think so, probably.
I'm like cold. I'm like getting chills throughout my whole body.
Yeah, the backstory to this is this kid's 16. He has family down in Alabama. They farm, own a bunch of land. They own this big like house, bunch of trailers they put out in the woods and stuff like that. They go and he's a city kid, but he goes out like camping with his cousins, like out in the middle of the woods there, out in this like cabin kind of. We get to the camp. It's obvious something's weird. Air has this weird electrical smell, like right before a storm, kind of like ozone. We think nothing of it and unpack and go down to a little creek to swim for a few hours. All of a sudden, some older white guy and a white teenager come out of the bushes. He has a shotgun in the crook of his arm and says hello and asks us what we're doing this far back out in the woods. I tell him about my uncle, who he knows, and says we're camping out. He tells us we need to be real careful out here and stick together. There's a big animal in the woods. His son, who's of my age, asks if he can stay and hang out with us. He says okay. So we end up playing football, dicking around with me. There's this kid, Tanner, 5 of my cousins, and then 4 of their friends. In total, there were 5 girls and 6 boys. We were all about 15 to 17. We ended up just dicking the day away, so we head back to the camp and pulling out some stuff for a campfire, even though the trailers both had kitchenettes. Tanner says that his family property sits up against my uncle's. He wants to run home and ask his dad if he can come out camping with us. My cousin said Rooster says he's going to go with him since it's also going to get dark soon. One of the girls also wants to tag along. It's about 7 o'clock and it's starting to get pretty dark. They take flashlights and take the trailer toward Tan's property. The rest of us chill. We make s'mores, drink, and kiss on the girls. About 30 or 40 minutes later, there's the smell of ozone again. You could smell it over the smell of the fire we had started. It's really nasty, coppery smell, like right after you had a nosebleed and it stopped. It wasn't exactly like dried blood, and it was that nasty metallic back of your throat smell.
That, for the record, that sound was an ice cube in the cooler.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Before we started, like that cooler was making like the sound like the whole time we were like setting up. And, like that's gonna make noise and it's gonna be audible on the podcast. I just know it. Anyways, we immediately think it's some kind of electrical malfunction or someone left a hot plate on or some shit. We search the trailers, nothing's on, and we can all smell it. All of a sudden, we can hear people booking down the path towards us, and Rooster, Tan, and the girl all come running into the clearing out of breath. They don't even break stride. They all run into the trailer right by where the fire is. We all get the fuck out of there into the trailers. They end up calming down. Even Rooster's crying his fucking eyes out at this point. All the while, the fire is getting lower and lower. So the other cousins say fuck it, and are about to go outside to get the generator out of a shed between the trailers. Tanner goes, fuck no. Lock the front door. Ain't nobody else going outside. He's been crying too. His eyes are bloodshot and puffy, and his pants are dirty as shit. He goes on to tell us that they went up to his house. His father said sure, he can go out camping, but to make sure they were careful on the way back, and maybe they should take one of the hunting rifles just in case. Evidently, Tanner had seen something in their yard a few days before. One of the pigs had come up, ripped up, and half-eaten. They assumed it was just some big cats or coyotes, even though they don't usually fuck with live animals. He'd gone upstairs and packed his stuff and told his dad they would be okay without the rifle because coyotes avoid people, so they started walking back towards where we were camping. So Rooster finally stops crying and shaking. The girl already had, but she was just staring at the window with a dumb look on her face. He says they had gotten halfway into the woods towards the camp when they started to hear shit in the forest. It was almost pitch black by this time, so they weren't sure at first what the fuck it was. The girl says that she heard something in the bushes right off the trail, and they all beamed their flashlights over there, and there was something standing back in the woods in a little hollow. Rooster said they were shouted at him and told him that he was scaring the fuck out of him. What a dick he was. He says that's when they realized that the guy was facing away from them. So they kept walking, start smelling that nasty, coppery ozone smell. They say that they took off in the forest on the opposite side, and it's a dude standing in the forest, backwards, slightly closer to the path. So now they start power walking, and Tan keeps going, I should have taken that fucking rifle. As they're telling the story, the smell is still super strong inside the cabin. They say after they started walking faster, a kind of low gibbering had started coming from both sides of the wood. And as they started booking it back to the trailer, the girl said she flashed her flashlight into the woods to the side of them and had seen something jerking itself through the woods. The gibbering just got louder and louder, and when they could see the light from our campfire, something had come out of the woods about 40 yards behind them onto the track, and they just flat out ran as hard as they could to the trailer. So we're out in the woods, and we're assuming at this point it's some rednecks or some shit trying to fuck with us. All of a sudden, my other cousin Junior starts going on about how he went to school with a native kid that was telling him about the goat man or some shit. We promptly tell him to shut the fuck up because we don't need any spooky talk right now. But he keeps going on and on about how it's the fucking goat man and how we're in his woods and blah, blah, blah. Now, at the time, I'd never heard of this goat man or any of that, but then a couple years ago, the year before I graduated from college, I had a menom for a roommate, and I ended up asking him about it. And to sum it up, it's basically a fucking man with a goat head, and he can shapeshift, and he gets among groups of people to terrorize them. It's supposed to be kind of like the Wendigo, and it's bad mojo to even talk about it, and even worse if you see it. Keep in mind, I didn't know this back when I was 16, so my cousin's going, the goat man's gonna get in and fucking get us. Girls are all terrified, my cousins are all fucking trying to figure it out if it's just some hillbillies or if it's just some animals. All of a sudden, the smell goes away. Like, to this day, I haven't even experienced anything like it. Like, usually smells fade away or lessen. It was literally just there 1 second and then just not. So it's after an hour, making it about 9 or 10. We've stopped shitting bricks enough to go back outside and stoke the fire again. We figure it was just some assholes trying to fuck with us, so we don't go back home. Because if we do, they'll chase us through the woods or some crazy shit. Nothing else weird happens that night. We stay out another night, and for the main part of the night, nothing happens. At about 1 in the morning, we're outside getting drunk, telling ghost stories. As someone is finishing some too spooky story, I don't even remember what, the smell comes back. It's so fucking strong, one of the girls literally starts vomiting. I stand up, and you can actually feel how clammy the air is. I say we should get back inside, and this isn't right. We should have just fucking left. We all go back inside, and we're standing around. My cousin just keeps going on about how it's the goat man. And my cousin Rooster tries to shut him the fuck up, and all the while I'm just feeling that something's wrong, and I can't figure out what the fuck it is. We end up sitting there for a while. The smell is just as strong, and we're terrified and just all huddled in this camper. We end up cooking brats for everyone because nobody wants to go outside. It's one of those packs with 4 brats. We have a total of 3 packs. I grill them up on the stove, and everyone gets a hot dog. I get mine. After a while, one of my cousins gets up and goes over to the pot to get another one. He starts grumbling about how I got 2 bratwursts and everyone else only got 1, and I look at him like he's fucking stupid. I tell him everybody only got 1 because there's only 12. If he wants more, he should just open up a new pack and cook some more. That's when the girl that had been out with Rooster and Tan just starts screaming, "Oh Jesus, oh Lord, get it out." She's crying and shivering, and then it dawns on the cousin standing up what the fuck is wrong. Me and him both glance around the room, and then I feel my heart fucking sink. I run the fuck out of the cabin, and the girl runs out with us. The trailer door is banging against the side of the trailers. Everyone just books it out of the cabin. One of my cousin's friends asks us what the fuck was wrong. I start counting us. There's only 11 now. I shit you not, my cousin verified. There had been 12 people in that cabin. But being that everyone didn't really know each other well, nobody had really noticed the whole fucking time there was an extra person. And I realized earlier that I had kind of noticed something was off. You know how when you're just dicking around having a good time, that you don't sweat the smallest shit, and you're always just don't keep track of certain stuff? I'm dead sure that somebody else had been in that trailer with us, and that they had been there for at least a fucking day eating with us. What makes it worse is I could figure out which one because I don't think anyone actually had interacted with the other person. The girl just kept praising to Jesus, and we're all sitting outside. Eventually we get big-ass sticks and go back to the cabin, but there's nobody in there. We count again, there's 11 people. We go back into the trailer, lock the door. We explain what the fuck happened, and the girl says that she realized too, and that was when he was about to say something. The person sitting next to her grabbed her leg hard and leaned over to her and said something that she couldn't understand. So we're pretty much scared as fuck as we huddle together, and I fall asleep. When I wake up, the sun's just coming up, and half the people are asleep, and the other half are just packing our shit up. We all want to walk back home, but like 4 people want to stay until the sun's all the way up. And some people think that we're just fucking around and still want to stay out the trailers. I just want to get the fuck out of the woods. The girl's name was Kira, the one that the goat man had touched. Anyways, I asked her if she really thinks it was something bad, and she just says she just wants to go home, and she doesn't want to be out in the woods alone for another night. So we decide to split up. The 4 that want to go can go, but I have to stay because I have the keys to the cabin, and it's my uncle's, and I have to lock up. I'm super pissed at this point, because I feel like people aren't taking this shit seriously, and I definitely don't want to be out in the woods for another night. I spend the rest of the day trying to convince the rest of the people, now 4 girls and 4 guys, to get the fuck out of Dodge. Tanner leaves with them to get a rifle and says he's going to be back. So there's just 7 of us left by 4 p.m. Around 5 p.m. he hasn't made it back yet, and we're getting extremely fucking antsy. And the only reason I stopped begging them to go back was because he went to get a gun. It's about 5:30 or so, and one of the cousins that did says that the girl Kira was outside. We all look outside, and sure enough, she's standing by the fire pit with her back to the cabin. I'm thinking to myself, if she was so fucking scared, why the hell would she come back? And I get this nasty feeling in my gut. Keep in mind, the whole time the coppery smell had been gone. Now I realize I can smell just a twinge of it. I say this to the rest of them and everybody, and these are the people that wanted to stay in the fucking woods after we had got the goddamn goatman in their midst, is laughing at me and asking if I set this up to scare them. I'm looking at them like I'm not fucking bullshitting you right now. I asked them why the fuck would I play like that. So one of the girls goes outside to get Kira. She's standing halfway to her and stops cold. Kira starts heaving. I don't know how the fuck to describe it. Sort of like if someone had their back turned, was laughing without actually making any sound. It was that fact that made me realize there was not a fucking sound in the whole woods. It was dead silent. This was like later in September, so it was still fairly hot at the time, but it was super chilly some days. And you could usually hear big-ass geese honking or some kind of birds or squirrels chit-chatting. So I step out the door and tell her to come back in the fucking trailer right goddamn now. She backs up into the trailer and we lock the fucking door. We pull down all the shades except one and put a guy there in the chair to watch her. She stands there for another 20 minutes or so. The guy turns to say that she's still there, and there's a huge fucking bang on the door. We all jump the fuck up and scramble around the living room of the trailer. The banging is super fucking loud. So now my cousin is holding one of the girls, and the other 2 are kind of giggling with nervous laughter, and me and the other 2 guys are shitting bricks. And then we hear Tan. He's screaming, "Let me the fuck in, stop playing." So we go over to the door and open it, and he stumbles in with a rifle. There's nobody else outside. Evidently he had walked up to the campsite. Nothing weird happened in the forest, but he'd seen a girl. Mind you, he said it wasn't Kira standing there. When he had gotten to the edge of the clearing, she had turned toward him with a slack-jawed look and just stared down, slowly tracking him as he walked around the outside of the clearing towards the camp. It wasn't until he was almost halfway to the trailer that he realized she was getting closer to him. She had started off by the fire, and without him even seeing her move, she'd just been turning, inching closer. He said he just ran the rest of the way back to the cabin thinking it would open. And when he got to the door and it was locked, he turned, and it was about half the distance to the door. He looks around at the room and it gets super pale. He pulls me to the side and whispers in my ear, "You know there are only 7 of us in here, right?" I get that feeling when your stomach drops back to your nuts. It had been back inside the trailer while we were sorting out who was going where, and when we all went outside to talk earlier in the day, it just slipped right back in. We looked out the window, there's nobody out there, so we recount everyone, and basically I go over and ask everyone how many people were here earlier. Everybody says 8. I say, "Well, how many are there now?" They all do the count, and then they realize there's only 7 people in the cabin. So Tan had brought back a couple of boxes of ammo and his rifle. Told his dad that there was some kind of animal in the forest because he didn't think his dad would believe him if he said it was the goat man. He said that his cousin is supposed to be coming down in a few hours, and in the morning we can all go back to his place and his cousin will drive us home. Now I'm really fucking terrified, but at least I feel better because we can be American and shoot the fuck out of whatever if it comes back. But then my cousin gets into this huge argument with one of the girls because she thinks that I'm trying to be funny and prank them, and that she's really getting scared, and I'm not funny. He keeps telling her that I'm not that kind of person, and she says, "Well, how do we know the girl wasn't just Tanner in a wig? Or if it really is the goat man, how do we know that this is the real Tanner, and that goat man didn't just kill Tanner in the woods and take his gun?" So we get in this huge fucking argument about this, where me and Tanner we could seriously be in danger because at the very least, someone has been sneaking themselves into our fucking trailer without us knowing and mingling with us, and at worst, something bad is in the forest trying to fuck with us. One of the girls is crying and saying that she wants to go right now, and that we're trying to tell her that we shouldn't because none of us are walking through the woods in the middle of the night. At this point, the sun is starting to go down, and it's getting a little cloudy out. We eat something and turn on the radio for a while, but we can't really get a station out there with anything decent. So we turn it off about the time that Tan's cousin shows up. He was 19, I think. At this point, the sun is just barely over the horizon, and he has one of those heavy-duty lantern flashlights and another rifle. He walks up to the trailer, and we whisper to Tan, asking if he's sure that that's his cousin, and he says yes. The guy looks behind him and all around the camp, and walks in, kind of glances at us and looks a little confused. He says, "Where's your other little buddy at? I figured she would meet us up at the cabin. Is she a little slow or something?" He also asked if we had been cooking blood in the cabin because it smells like blood and hot pans all the way up to the trail. We're all like, fucking nope. But we asked him what the fuck he was talking about the girl he saw. He had come down the same trail Tan had been using, and he'd come up on one of the used guy's buddies standing in the middle of the trail looking at him slack-jawed. He'd asked her a bunch of questions, but all she did was just look at him. Then she smiled at him and said he said he kept walking. She couldn't seem to keep up with him and kept lagging a little behind him. He said he asked her if she was hurt or something and if she needed any help, but she just continued to stare. Eventually he'd been walking and turned around a little bend in the trailer, but when he turned around and went back to see if she was okay, the trail was empty. He'd assumed he should taken some shortcut through the woods to her trailer. We tell him the whole story of what's been going on. I half expected him to say we were full of shit, but he just listened and then sat down on the couches in the living room. Tanner's cousin gets back to the girl. He says that when she had been trying to leg behind him, it kind of weirded him out the fuck out, so he tried to keep in front of him. But no matter how slow he walked, she was always lagging a little behind. He got this nasty smell, and it got stronger as he got to the camp. Eventually it got really strong. He said he had something really low that he didn't catch, and when he turned around, she'd been right the fuck up on him, and he stepped back from her. It was at this point he asked if she was okay, and if she wasn't, him to carry her back to the rest of the way, and she just kept staring. He said he reached out for her as if to grab her on the shoulder, but he must have misjudged the distance, because she was off to the side of where he put his hand, like she had moved when he was looking dead at her. So, at this point, we know this shit's real, unless Tan is playing a joke, which we can tell because he's almost pissing his pants. So they load up the rifles, we eat some more, and we just kind of sit around until about 11. To this fucking day, I pray every time I think about this. I really pray to God that it's just some huge prank that my cousins played on me and I have never revealed, so I would shit for the rest of my life. At around 11, the stink of copper turns into an actual nasty, gross, blood-like smell, like cooking blood and singed hair. Tan and his cousin Reese get the fuck up instantly and grab the rifles. There's like a half knocking, half clawing at the door, and I shit you not, there's this voice. And it sounds like when you see those YouTube cats and dogs whose owners teach them how to talk, it says in this haltingly weird toned voice,
"Oh, Long
let me the
Johnson.
fucking stop fucking
long
playing."
piano.
Made my fucking nuts creep up against my body, and one of those girls just starts crying and calling on Jesus. It was so obviously not a person talking, it didn't even have the right cadence, and that's some shit that I never realized until this moment. But all people have a certain cadence when they talk, no matter what language. All people have a certain kind of rhythm to talking. This shit didn't have any kind of cadence or rhythm. One of those YouTube cats, that's what the fuck it sounded like outside the door. So now I'm in full-on terror mode. We keep yelling outside, "Who is it? Stop fucking around, man." And it just keeps saying "in" or "let me the fuck in" for almost 15 minutes. So the smell goes away for a while, and for the next hour or so, you can hear someone basically creeping around the woods and shit. Every couple of minutes, they'll come back to the door and say something. Finally, when the smell fades away, it's around 2 in the morning right now. Reese says, "Man, fuck this," and opens the door and walks outside with his rifle. He fires a shot into the air and says something to the effect of, "In the name of Jesus Christ, go away." He fires 2 more times, and then from the woods, right up against the river from across the trailer. It sounds like something slowly just gibbering and hooting. Then it starts screaming, and it sounds like almost like a woman and a cat in a bag screaming together. Like, seriously, I've never heard any shit like that, and you can hear the brush over the way start to shake. Reese fires into the tree line and starts backing into the house. We lock the door, and we can hear this shit keening and screaming. Reese said something had come out of the bushes, super low to the ground, and crawling towards the cabin. He shot at it. Pretty much that's how the rest of the night went. It was literally screaming constantly for the next 2 hours, and we could hear shit moving into the tree line. But it never came back up to the cabin until everyone had finally fallen asleep. Tan had been sitting in a chair watching the door with his rifle. Nobody else heard or saw this, but he told me 2 days later after the whole thing was over. He said he'd been nodding off after the screaming and noises finally stopped, and he had been almost asleep when he saw someone come out of the bathroom and just lay down in the middle of the floor and go to sleep. He assumed it was one of us, and he nodded off. Then he realized something was wrong, and while pretending to be sleeping, he counted us. There were 9 people in the cabin. He basically didn't want to try to shoot at the fucking cabin thing in the cabin and have it kill us all then and there, or have Reese wake up and start shooting, then we kill ourselves. So he just stayed awake all night, pretending to be asleep. He said sometimes it would stand up and do this kind of weird jittery thing, or heave like it was laughing, but then it would lay back down. The story closes pretty weak, because from my perspective, nothing happened. We woke up, and I noticed Tan was a little jittery, but he was avoiding looking at all of us. But we ate some breakfast, packed up, and started walking to his house. He stayed last in the cabin and said he'd lock up and bring me my uncle's keys just to start walking, and he'd catch up, which I really didn't want to fucking do. We got a little bit up the path, and when he came running up, basically we just jogged back to his house. His cousin took us home. There was a window in the bathroom. Tan had got back to lock up and looked in there. We were too stupid to lock a screenless window. The window was fucking up when he went in there. I'm guessing he'd been doing all that all along, waiting for us to fall asleep or slip up and then get in among us. It walked with us all the goddamn way back to his house. Then he set it leg to the back of the group and looked him dead in the eyes before walking into the woods. Bit of a long story.
It's fucking terrifying.
I'm so freaked out right now.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite stories. on the
Holy
internet.
crap.
That was pretty freaking scary.
I don't like that, and you just ruined camping for the rest of my life. So
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Being in the dark woods is like one of my biggest fears.
I love it. That's one of my favorite things, and you just ruined it for me.
You're welcome.
Jesus
So
Christ.
eerie.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. So, on that note, I think we should get to questions here. We have a few questions come in. We asked.
We have a couple, yeah.
How long has this been going?
A while.
Oh yeah, we're about ready to wrap it up here.
Pretty close to wrapping it up.
I'm scared shitless. And for the record, obviously we should have said this at the beginning of the episode, and obviously we didn't know. And we'll make sure when we post this to let people know that you have to watch this at night in a dark room or listen to this podcast. Listen to this podcast in a very eerie setting.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have to stress that. Frick, that was just I don't like that. Sorry.
That was a good one. Oh fuck.
Really, buddy?
I'm sorry.
Fuck was that?
What was that?
I was looking at the chive,
Oh Jesus.
and an advertisement came up. Sorry.
I was thinking something we should have done is we have a fourth mic set up here that's not being used. We should have kept it plugged in the whole time.
Why?
In case something or someone wanted to
talk
say
with us?
something.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'll bring up the first question. Hopefully, your questions aren't Halloween themed because I'm done with the Halloween thing. Can we do Christmas? Can we do our Christmas? Can we do our Christmas?
I've one. It's one Halloween theme, but it's not it's not scary stories or anything like that.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this one first because this one might get a little scary, and then we'll end on something not scary.
Okay.
This is a question I got. What's the scariest nightmare you've had after watching a scary movie? I think Brody's may have been. My heart just stopped. I saw your axe move. I thought something was coming out the doorway. Holy crap.
I had those nightmares before
Yeah.
Insidious came out, though.
Yeah, well, that's
what-
whatever. That's good enough. You're not saying anything else. Me.
Jesus.
Oh, frick.
Sorry.
You just
I
touched my
totally
leg.
did. That was
Shit.
an accident.
I can't think of any. No, Luke doesn't have any either. Kate, next question, please.
Okay.
I'm freaked out right now. I want to end this.
What's the best Halloween themed episode of a television show?
Oh,
Bit of a lighter question.
damn it.
For me,
Go ahead.
probably the Digimon ones.
Fuck, it totally sounded like someone came in.
No, that was your freaking chair.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a couch.
I
The
tried-
back's kind of leaning against the wall.
I tried to recreate it and I couldn't, so I was like, oh god.
No, it's a chair. Yeah. Good enough. That answer works.
You just really want to get out of here.
I
don't you?
really want to end this.
Okay.
Wait, the Digimon one with the with the pumpkin mon. And,
Yeah.
I love that. Was that Halloween up? Yeah, it was.
Technically.
Yeah, whatever. I think
I don't know if it wasn't like the original one, but like the American dub definitely like.
I think
Maybe that's
South
Halloween.
Park does Halloween episodes perfect all the time. The Blockbuster one. The
Of course, you can't beat the Simpsons episodes.
I don't like Simpsons.
You,
Sorry,
not even the Treehouse of Horror.
No. No, I'm not a Simpsons fan. Yeah, South Park, Simpsons, good. What's the other question?
Okay. Would you rather have less work to do or more work that you actually enjoy doing?
More work I actually enjoy doing.
Same.
Same.
Cool.
Finish
That's
the
answered.
question. Okay.
Favorite thing of the week.
Good
Mine
fucking-
isn't horror stories. Mine is the opposite. Mine's Christmas. I love Christmas right now. Could it be Christmas time, please? My favorite thing of the week is I'm starting to play Skyrim again, which I'm digging. I'm still on the same file. I started another the Dawnguard expansion. Just started it.
I'm
What?
sorry. It sounded like you said Dong Guard.
Dawnguard. Yeah, that
Piece.
the new Nick Jonas song. I'm sorry I had to mention it. It is so amazing.
It's pretty good.
It is good.
Another, my kind of thing adds on to that, like new song that just came out.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how long ago it came out. I don't listen to the radio, so I'm a little behind on like modern music. The new Mariana's Trench song, the new single.
Yeah,
The one that
Pop 101.
Yeah, the one that completely
That song-
rips on pop
yeah,
music.
that song
It is
came out
my
a little while
new
ago.
favorite thing.
It
Have
is
you heard
so
that song
funny.
yet?
No, I haven't.
Boots
It
and
is.
cats and boots and
Yeah,
cats and
the
boots.
whole song is like it's like a step by step tutorial on how to build the perfect pop
And
song.
they make fun of Mumford and Sons, Nicki Minaj, Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
Like just most subtle. We'll play it after
Yeah,
the podcast.
it's like saying like the lyrics are like literal instructions, like you bring in the bass here and then
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Filler. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Brody, what's your favorite thing of the week here?
Before I say that,
Oh God, what?
there's something I was always afraid of. I can't remember what the movie is
We're
called.
done with that. We're done with that.
no, keep going, keep
Go
going.
ahead. Is it E.T.? Because that
No,
movie scared me when
it's
I
a
was
scary
little.
movie, and right before the characters would die, their phone would ring, but it would be like a different. You
Oh, I'm sorry.
fuck.
I moved the cord.
I was like someone grabbing me from under the couch.
I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
getting
God.
the Mariana Trench song ready. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, but before they would die, they would hear this ringtone, and
Why are you saying this?
Yeah, please
it's
stop.
the scariest fucking ringtone I've ever.
You don't
heard.
have it, do you?
No, I want to.
Good.
It, though.
Well, yeah. Save it for after the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
So I don't. have to
So we
listen
don't
to-
shit ourselves like on recording.
God damn it.
Stop.
Stop.
Yes, it's actually an advertisement for the chive.
Yeah.
Just put away the chive.
Okay.
Anyways, well, what's your favorite thing of the week? Because you're freaking me out, and I'm done with this podcast.
I've got two favorite things of the week.
Go ahead.
One of them is, are you familiar with the YouTube channel Alan Tutorial?
Sounds familiar.
It's kind of like How to Basic, but it's like this like guy that like does these like dumb like how. What are you doing?
And he talks
Sorry, I was trying to
all.
breathe.
he like talks like really soft, kind of like this.
Oh yeah, you've told me about that
Okay,
before.
no.
Yeah,
That's not him.
it's been about like probably it's been a very long time since he's uploaded a video. Like his channel's been inactive for a long time. Last week, over the course of a couple days, he uploaded two or three new videos, and it's like it looks like something out of like Blair Witch or something. It's the weirdest thing. Like there's no explanation, nothing really happening in the video. It's just like a dark, really dirty room, and he's like kind of like moving around the room, like moving stuff around, and then, like at the end of the one of the videos, he just says tutorial.
That's awesome.
That's
But
funny.
like yeah, Alan Tutorial is back.
I have to look that up. What's the other thing?
My other thing is kind of like a feel good story.
Oh, good. We need one of those, please.
Yeah. There's a like a rapper that I follow. His name's Spose. He's like pretty small time. He's doing a tour right now around the States. And when they were in I think it's Louisiana, somewhere in Louisiana, they were just at, like in a restaurant getting food. And when they were in the restaurant, somebody went into their van and robbed everything they had. Like literally $30,000 worth of gear, like money, phones. They ended up having to because they lost everything. They ended up having to stay the night in like just in a Walmart parking lot. Overnight, they're like he posted the story of like what happened on like Facebook and like social media, like what the fuck just happened. Overnight, his fans raised $15,000.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, like he woke up to suddenly having $15,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you just really want to be out of here, don't you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm pretty freaked. I hate creepy stuff. I love it, but I hate it at the same time. Do you have a favorite thing of the week?
Couldn't you just
come into this podcast?
Oh, Brody.
you?
Awesome. We're gonna finish this thing up here now. Before we go, it's worth mentioning. We didn't know exactly how to bring it in. I just feel like we should.
Yeah.
As most people know, earlier this week on Wednesday, there was in Ottawa. There was a shooting. Not exactly 100% sure. All the details on it right now. It's very new. Pretty much, we don't really want to cover anything because we're not justifiable to cover things. I don't think we're a good source to do that. But
We're no Philly D.
no. But regardless, our hearts are out there to the families affected, especially to the soldier who, 24 years old, he lost his life, which is really sad. And just our thoughts and prayers, or if you pray, our thoughts are out there to all involved, and hopefully,
Our condolences.
and hopefully, Canada's strong. I'm not worried about us.
Canada's strong.
And I think
the only thing we can do is not let it affect us.
exactly, and I think we're doing a good job of that.
That attack wasn't linked to ISIS, though, was it?
There's
It was-
rumors, but it's not. It was a Canadian.
It was a Canadian. It wasn't a foreign body, but it was a person who was already under
Islamic.
suspicion of being radical.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the families involved and anyone. Hopefully, everyone's staying safe and go home and hug somebody because.
And to everybody on my Facebook who is going full American retard and posting racist shit,
Terrible stuff.
go fuck yourself. Grow up, you immature asshole.
There's somewhere in, I think it was Alberta.
Cold Lake.
Cold Lake.
Yeah, Cold Lake.
They
That was a
vandalized the
shitty
mosque.
scenario.
Yeah.
But
hate
I love
people
that
like
story so much just because of what came out of it.
Yeah.
The town came, a huge group of people came and they repainted. Essentially, what it was is, it was after this happened, right? Because
It was because of it. Yeah.
somebody spray painted on it was a mosque, correct?
Yeah.
Mosque in Cold Lake, Alberta. They spray painted "Go Home." We're Canadians. Go home all over the building. The next day, the town, a bunch of people, the town rallied together and they all cleaned up and they repainted the outside of the building. So that's Canada for you. We have some shitheads, but collectively we're pretty badass, and we're go Canada.
I just want to say one thing that was really cool that happened was the the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers game the next day.
I got choked up watching that.
Yeah, I did too. I got choked up just reading about it.
Yeah, me too. Because I didn't realize until I watched the video that it was the Flyers and the Penguins. There wasn't even a Canadian team, but they did the Canadian national anthem, and
Like the whole stadium was lit
singing.
up red with like maple leaves everywhere.
and people were singing along to it,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Didn't
cool.
the Penguins
the
let a kid with a heart problem play with them not too long ago?
That was San Jose.
San Jose.
Repping the San Jose Sharks. They signed them for a 1-day term to be an actual
That
Shark.
made me tear up so bad
Yeah.
watching
I was
the
so
video.
proud of that.
one thing that's kind of been choking me up was like after that happened, like not even after, but even while it was still happening, the amount of like solidarity and like respect and sympathy I've seen like online from like people from America who are like standing up and like showing support for Canadians was unreal.
Yeah. It's because people like Canada. Canada doesn't deserve that shit.
I'm actually surprised. Like, usually when something like this happens, there's always those dickheads that have to make jokes and photos and shit out of it. Haven't seen
Nope.
one yet.
Which is, yeah. Regardless, the whole situation's sad. But whatever, Canada's not whatever, but Canada's strong. We'll get past this. And rest in peace. I wish I should have looked up his name. But
Well, there was two.
there's two. Yeah, that's one isn't as mentioned, but that kind of came after. But regardless, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families. And yeah, sorry, we went through this creepy, scary ass podcast, and we ended on a really sad note.
We ended with the feels.
We ended on the feels. But anyways, guys, as always, you know how to check us out. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. We are on iTunes. We're everywhere. We're getting up in your grills. We're getting up in your face.
Yeah.
Why do I always have to bring out that accent at the end of the episode?
Every episode.
At least I'm not talking about bees. God.
Bees.
Bees. Yeah.
Not the bees.
You
Not
can-
the bees.
you can-
Oh God, they're in my eyes.
Okay. Shh. Let's wrap this up because I want to turn every light in this building on. Our Twitter is @big_pixels. You can go to our website and listen to this podcast, www.big-pixels.com.
You're getting better at remembering.
I'm
that.
getting better at remembering it. Luke and I each have our own Twitters that I'm really bad at keeping up on. Luke is at Cynical Rainbows. I am at Kilkenny. That's K1LLKENNY. But most importantly, we have a Facebook page. And go check it out and go support it. You can find it at facebook.com/setbacks and a shot of tequila.
If it gets 1,000 likes, Brody will dress up as Sailor Moon.
And it's going to be amazing. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Ugh. 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 ugh, 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 ugh,